Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm not just alright, I'm Dolomite.
And Shane isn't here. I know it's become almost like a regular occurrence here lately, but...
He lives an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Pull the curtain back.
Long story short, yes.
Yeah.
He did move about 6 months ago, and... There are issues sometimes with being able to get away and get here. And so we miss him. We want him to be here. And he's always welcome to join us when he's able to.
Yeah, he's the third mic, whether he likes it or not.
That's right.
Which I know he likes it. It's just, he also is, in addition to moving an hour and a half away, started a job that involves growing pains.
Exactly.
So, you know.
But welcome to episode 353, Living Dangerously, 1999. No tagline.
No tagline.
We're going hardcore here.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Yeah, all you need to do is put ECW just ECW is a tagline in itself.
That's right. But this is the second Living Dangerously produced by ECW. It would take place on March 21st, 1999, from the Asbury Park Convention Hall in Asbury Park, New Jersey, with an attendance of 3,900
Okay.
and a buy rate of 80,000.
The buy rate got me. I was like, ooh.
Full house in the convention hall. And that buy rate, yeah, you're right. That buy rate's pretty good for ECW.
Yeah, they don't have Stone Cold Steve Austin. They don't have Mankind. They don't have The Undertaker. They don't have The Rock. They don't have
they don't even have
Vince
Hogan
McMahon
or Flair.
They don't even have Hogan or Flair.
They got Taz. They got Sabu.
We love them dearly. But, they also don't have a primetime television spot.
That's right. At least not yet.
Yeah, 80,000 is a pretty good buy rate for a company that's just rubbing two nickels together.
Absolutely. But we are in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Home of the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, and the only boss that I listen to, Bruce Springsteen.
But it's also the home of the Jack Rose cocktail.
Ooh.
So this
Beautiful
cocktail
transition.
was created around the turn of the 20th century. Basically, it tracks to this area because the base spirit is Layard's Applejack brandy, which I went and found some for us to make this. Layard is the oldest licensed distillery in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
And this drink quickly found fans through the Prohibition times, and it was a favorite of John Steinbeck.
It's probably helpful for it to be flavored because back then, in the Prohibition era, it's like they were basically drinking rubbing alcohol a lot of the time. So it's like, oh, we put a little bit of flavor in there.
But basically, it's the Jack Rose composed of Applejack or apple brandy, which is what is better known as now, lemon juice, and grenadine. So it's very simple. And I think you said it earlier when we were taking the drink.
Taking a sip.
Like a boozy apple juice, basically.
Yeah, it's not a difficult drink at all. It sounds like it would be stronger than it is, but we also poured it over a big old ice cube, and not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean it's very smooth going down, and the flavors are all right there at the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, a little the grenadine cuts the booze a little bit, and the lemon puts a little bit of tang on the end of the apple.
Absolutely.
Not bad at all.
New Jersey, you have a good drink here. I don't have a whole lot more to say about it.
No, it works. Crazy that it's still around. I never heard of it, but I'm not a guy that knows much about brandy or liquor in general, so I'm sure it has its audience.
Absolutely. I bought a big bottle of it because it was basically the smallest bottle I could find.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do this drink. And I'm all like, I think this would make for a good marinade on a pork tenderloin of some
Absolutely. Sort. It would be great for a piece of pork.
So,
yeah.
I see a future for some pork in that brandy.
Yeah.
But something that would happen right around the same time as Living Dangerously, Cher would be in the middle of a 4-week run at number 1 with Believe.
It was an inescapable song for somebody way after the height of their career, and it really popped off. You know what? In saying that, it kind of reminds me of the similar thing that happened maybe a little bit after this with Bon Jovi, where they had that song "It's My Life," and it was a huge hit. But it's like Bon Jovi, like way after the fact. I mean, and Bon Jovi was an '80s band, but you know, shared a television show in the '70s, had some big acting roles in the '80s and probably early '90s. But yeah, this song was inescapable, and I don't know if it's auto-tune, but that weird effect on her voice is like one of the first times I heard that.
I have to believe that it is auto-tune.
Yeah, I don't know if it's technically auto-tune, but like it's like I've never. Yeah, it was, maybe she's the progenitor of auto-tune. Take that, T-Pain and Kanye West.
I mean, whenever this came out in 1999, I was just like, Cher? Like,
yeah,
why Cher? Like, because I think the only other song that I really knew of hers at this point, at that point in 1999, was like, If I Could Turn Back Time.
Yeah, that's the one where she's on the ship with the sailors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that song. And then, of course, the I Got You Babe from the 70s, like from the show she did with her husband at the time.
But obviously I knew her more as an actress.
Huge fan of Moonlight. Moonstruck. Moonlight's all right, too. I've seen that. But I like Moonstruck more than Moonlight.
But she literally had singles in 6-7 different decades that have charted.
Pretty impressive.
Like all the way back to 65. Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down was number 2 in 66.
She's not the original person to record that, is she? Who knows?
It was written by Sonny. So
wow.
I would assume that it is her song. And then all the way to what we got in the 70s. Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves hit number 1. Half Breed, Dark Lady. I can't even think of what those songs are right offhand.
No, me neither.
Then she, If I Could Turn Back Time, hit 3. After All with Peter Cetera hit number 6.
It's kind of crazy that Believe was such a huge song, but I can't think of a single that came out after that. They were like, oh, because normally if there's a big single, they try a second one, and I have no memory of like even an album rollout, an album title for that. Just the fact that this song kind of came out of nowhere and was inescapable.
I mean, literally, I think the next song that I know of that like I personally realized that it was this is a Cher song. It was actually, she had a Christmas song.
Of course.
2 years ago, but I'm a big Christmas music guy.
That's why I said of course. Of course Matt knows about that song.
I mean, she went on like the late night TV show circuit singing it, whatnot, called DJ Play a Christmas Song. It's another, dance hall pop song. Yeah. Like Believe that.
I wouldn't mind seeing her be brought back into film as an older lady. But if with the right role, it could be cool.
I mean, it could be. I've never seen Moonstruck, which
really?
I can. Really? It's actually on my list to watch in the next couple weeks or so.
I got a copy right behind you.
But I think the only movie I've really ever seen her in is like Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, yeah.
And like I didn't think she was that great in it.
She's good in... I think Moonstruck is the movie everybody goes to with shit.
Yeah.
But I really like that movie.
What's the movie with...
Mask?
Yeah, I didn't care for Mask.
No, Mask is...
But I also was like really young whenever I watched it too, so...
I love Peter Bogdanovich, and I do not care about Mask. I love What's Up, Doc. I love Last Picture Show. I love...
I mean, she's in the Mamma Mia's, but...
Paper Moon. But, yeah. But I think Moonstruck is... It's the only... I think it might be the only one outside of Mask that I've seen share. I've seen Witch of Eastwick. But, yeah.
She was in Ready to Wear, but I don't love... what's his face? Altman movies. Like Altman movies are just weird to me.
I like Altman, but
she was in The Player.
I recently watched The Player, and I really, really, really liked it. I do not remember who she was in that, but there's so many like cameos in that.
Yeah.
Like so she was definitely a cameo in The Player. But The Player is good. I think you would like The Player more than.
I mean, that's another one of those movies that I saw like when I was super young. So
I think you'd appreciate it now as a guy who likes movies, and also it has a little bit less of the what people derogatorily call the mumblecore of Altman. This is a little more focused, I think.
Okay, I might give it a try again at some point. But if you're looking for a fun dancehall pop song,
you all know the song. It'd be crazy if you didn't.
You can believe in life after love.
Yeah,
that's my share.
I mean, with the divorce rate throughout this world and the country specifically, where's the lie?
Very true. Well, let's talk some living dangerously. Steven Prizak is outside the arena awaiting the arrival of Taz. And the human suplex machine actually walks up at that moment. Steven asks what his game plan for Sabu is. With Taz responding, the ECW tried to hide the fact that I busted the Homicidal One's jaw a month ago. But that is what he's going to focus on. That he will go after the jaw like a shark going after that blood in the water. Like stink on shit, I will be after his jaw. And when it's all over, I will unify the World Heavyweight and FTW Championships. And the human suplex machine continues. Who can beat me? Ric Flair? He's a 50-year-old man. Is there anybody out there that believes the Nature Boy can beat me? Steve Austin? Tremendous entertainer. Everybody loves him. Good athlete too. But you know what? He can't beat me. I'd make him tap in a New York minute. Maivia, Mankind, Hogan, it don't matter. I'm the one and only World Heavyweight Champion. Because I'm Taz. Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you.
I love it because he can call these guys out because he's never going to wrestle them.
Right. Like it kind of makes you look cheap a little bit.
A little bit, but we do love Taz.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
for this audience and this point in time, it makes sense.
This is an ECW thing. Because Shane Douglas used to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that's all coming from Paul more than it is from the wrestlers themselves.
Yeah, it's like we're the gritty underdog.
Yeah. We go inside the arena to Joey Styles in the ring, welcoming everyone to the show, where he says there will be no judges at ringside, no predetermined draws, and Don King has been banned from the building. So he was basically riffing on the first Holyfield-Lennox match that had just happened a week before. It had a controversial ending with a split draw. Basically, everyone thought that Lennox probably should have won, and one judge had Holyfield winning. I think that's what it is. Maybe it might be the other way around. I don't remember exactly. But
either way, it was a draw that was unsatisfying.
Basically, setting up a second match because these two guys were the big names in boxing at that point. So Joey then hypes up the main event between Taz and Sabu before we get the opening video package with name, date, location, and highlights of our competitors. But that takes us right to our first match. Super Crazy versus Yoshihiro Tajiri. We saw these guys the last time on an ECW show.
We did.
And it was very good.
It was very good.
Let's see what they do this time.
It's on pay-per-view.
So they trade takedowns and arm holds until Yoshihiro flips and cartwheels out to deliver a monkey flip, only for Crazy to land on his feet to a round of applause.
They're going off already.
They then go to a test of strength that goes back and forth, leading to a Tajiri Hurricanrana. But Super Crazy rolls through and they exchange modified monkey flips. When Yoshihiro hits an arm drag, only for Crazy to be right back up to springboard off the ropes, land on his feet, trade arm drags, and do simultaneous kip-ups.
And they get a standing ovation for that simultaneous kip-up. They're really, it feels like you took one guy and split him in half almost.
Yeah. Tajiri's whipped to the ropes, but he comes back with a handspring back elbow and a head scissors takedown, only for Super Crazy to land a chop and charge in, where Yoshihiro sends his opponent flying out onto the ramp with another monkey flip. Crazy rolls off to the floor when Tajiri leaps over the ropes with a tope con hio, ramming Super Crazy into the rampway and hitting an Asai moonsault onto his opponent. Crazy's tossed back in, but he kicks Yoshihiro through the ropes, leading to a sunset flip onto the ramp, some kicks, and a springboard moonsault. Super Crazy then begins gloating while on the second rope, only for Tajiri to answer back with a handspring head scissor to send Crazy down onto the ramp. And they return to the ring by a Super Crazy clothesline, nailing a fireman's carry slam and a trifecta of moonsaults off of each turnbuckle for a 2 count. Like he does one off the bottom rope, and then he does one off the second rope.
It's wild.
And then he finally hits one off the top. It was a really cool thing.
It's crazy how clean it was and for how quick it was. It's just like, we all talk about Sabu slop. These guys are crispy.
Crazy places Yoshihiro in a tree of woe. And drop kicks him, followed by another springboard moonsault for a near fall. Tajiri then counters a fireman's carry into a sunset flip for a 2 count. Super Crazy's right back up with more kicks and another fireman's carry slam before another moonsault, which Yoshihiro gets his knees up to block. Crazy's now placed in a tree of woe.
Whoa.
Receiving a baseball slide to the face with Tajiri making the cover for the pin, and no, Super Crazy gets a boot on the ropes. And Yoshihiro keeps up the attack with more stiff kicks, whips Crazy to a corner, only for him to springboard into a moonsault, which Tajiri ducks and hits a basement dropkick.
Love it.
For a 2 count.
I mean, yeah. I love this. I absolutely adore this.
Super Crazy sent to the corner again, but he scores a sunset flip this time for a near fall. Goes to the apron for a springboard, only to fall off, with the fans letting him know that he fucked up.
Yeah.
Yoshihiro takes advantage with a German suplex for a 2 count, locks on a full Nelson, only for Crazy to escape with a low blow and a sit-out powerbomb for the pin. And no, Tajiri kicks out. Super Crazy tries for another, but Yoshihiro counters it into a head scissors DDT, leaving both men down momentarily. But once back to their feet, Tajiri sent to the ropes, coming back to leap onto his opponent's shoulders for a Hurricanrana, only for Crazy to roll through for the pin and the win. Good way to start.
I mean, absolutely. This was great. I thought either man could win, but a roll-up finish. I smell another match in the future.
I do too.
And am excited to see it. I only have like one note for this whole match because I enjoyed it so much. But when he slips to the mat, he like oversells, and it's really corny and takes me out of it for a second. They get back to it, but it's just like he basically lands flat on his back in the ring or whatever, and then just like throws his arms and legs up like a tremor from like or whatever. It's just or like somebody put the what is it called? The electric things that you put on someone's chest.
Zapped him back to life.
Yeah. It was very silly in a match where I didn't think there was a lot of silly going on. But it's a very small note. This was would have gone off in a Japanese junior ring.
Absolutely. I would say it's better than their first match, if not for the botched springboard.
Yeah. And even the botched springboard, I don't mind a botch if they recover it well, because...
Which they did.
They did. It's just that one arm thing was like,
Yeah.
wait, why did you do that? There's no need to do that. Just lay there and let him come up there and kick you quickly while you're down or something. But that's very nitpicky.
Absolutely.
And there's so many other things we can complain about on any wrestling show. So I apologize. It's super crazy.
We go to the back with Rob Van Dam, Sabu, and Bill Alfonso, where Fonzie asks Taz if he remembers what it's like to have the best manager in your corner. Because tonight you stand alone. While if the homicidal one gets hurt, I'm going to tape him up. I'm going to glue him back together, and we'll keep going. And RVD chimes in that it's a big night for Sabu, as he gets to watch me defend the World Television Championship against Jerry Lynn. And the homicidal one grabs him at this point, so Van Dam changes his tune. You're right. It doesn't matter who I'm fighting. Sabu loves watching me wrestle anyone, because I'm his favorite wrestler.
I never get tired of it. It's one of those things that like should be corny or annoying at some point, but RVD and Sabu at each other's necks, but technically on the same side, always works for me.
RVD then hypes up the homicidal one, believing that he can win, even if he's just at 70%. It's not even a challenge. You're kicking his ass. The real challenge will be after you win. How will Van Dam carry all 5 belts and his partner too? Which leaves Alfonso to have to separate them. Whenever these two guys finally go at each other, it's going to be great.
It will. And it's a perfect mix because Sabu doesn't really talk much. He's the homicidal maniac that used to come out like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
And then RVD is like pretty articulate guy that's got it. Yeah, loves the smell of his own shit. So it just comedic gold.
We go to the ring where Steve Corino has a mic. I don't need steroids to look good. I don't need to wrestle in foreign lands for you people to respect me. What I want is from somebody from the back to come out here so I can show everyone the way I am and show all the losers out there in TV land how hardcore Steve Corino is. Music hits and out walks the challenger, leading us to our second match. Steve Corino versus Balls Mahoney with Axel Rotten. Yeah, everyone thought it was going to be Sid.
Yeah.
And Balls takes the offensive right away with strikes, a back body drop, and clotheslines, when Corino avoids another charge in, causing Mahoney to crash out to the floor, where Steve hits a baseball slide, followed by attempting a pescado, only for Balls to catch and whip Corino into an Axel clothesline. And they return to the ring where Mahoney keeps up the attack with a body slam and heads up top for a frog splash that gets a 2 count. Balls then climbs the turnbuckles again, but he misses a New Jersey jam, allowing Steve to take advantage with a back heel kick, and he tunes up the band for a super kick and grabs a chair, only to set it up, sitting down to apply a chin lock.
I mean, I loved this silly spot. I'm enjoying Steve Corino's
anti-hardcore.
Yeah, just being shithead heel.
Yeah.
He's doing it well.
Mahoney's right to his feet to send Corino to a corner and nailing a super kick of his own, before using the chair to deliver a shot so stiff it becomes part of the intro package from now on. For the pin and the win. Welcome to ECW, Steve Corino.
Yeah. I'm not super familiar with Steve Corino, but I'm already a fan.
We'll see him quite a bit over the next few years. So
I assumed as much because it seems like he's already got a fully realized character, and ECW is constantly losing talent.
Yep. We then go to a video package about the Gangsta's recent history, where we see highlights of the Dudleys defeating the Eliminators, breaking the necks of Hack Myers, Sandman, and Beulah, scoring the first pinfall ever in ECW on Masato Tanaka, and starting a wave of terror that was capped by taking down Public Enemy. So when it's discovered that New Jack was next on their hit list, Jack enlisted the help of his former partner. But someone had paid off the Dudleys to take out New Jack, and that someone was Mustafa himself.
Oh my God.
Smashing a guitar over Jack.
What's funny is that if you don't watch this on the network, the music for this package is Cream by Wu-Tang Clan. Cash. Get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. It's very funny. That package goes on and then it ends with them handing money to Mustafa Ali.
And we haven't seen Mustafa since Buffalo Invasion, episode 253.
Don't remember that one.
So 100 episodes ago. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And that takes us to our third match. Antifaz Del Norte versus Little Guido with Big Sal E. Graziano. And the full-blooded Italian starts it off with a pair of slaps before back-and-forth action, when Antifaz delivers a springboard arm drag, side kick, and a springboard missile drop kick, sending Guido retreating to the floor. Del Norte then flies out with a corkscrew plancha onto his opponent, followed by a springboard sunset flip back into the ring for a 2 count. Antifaz tries for a hurricanrana, only for Little Guido to counter it into a powerbomb for a near fall, before a chop fest breaks out with Del Norte getting the better of it, leading to a sit-out front suplex for a 2 count. Antifaz then nails a leg and elbow drop, heads to the top, but Guido meets him there for an Italian leg sweep down to the mat for a near fall. Little Guido then turns his attention to the crowd, which allows Del Norte to roll him up for a 2 count, followed by applying a sleeper, which Guido escapes with a jawbreaker and a clothesline. Antifaz then gets whipped to a corner, where he leaps up and over a charging Little Guido, hitting a drop kick to the back and a springboard corkscrew press for a near fall. And Del Norte continues with a back heel kick that sends his opponent outside. So Antifaz follows with a pescado, but Big Sal catches and slams him through a table. And Del Norte is rolled back in, where Guido delivers a face-buster leg drop and locks on the Sicilian Crab for the submission and the win. Post-match, Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich run out to get in Little Guido's face, when Tracy decks Guido. And Rich nails Sal in the back with the Italian flag, only for Graziano to no-sell, so Tommy and Smothers retreat up the ramp.
Could this be the end of the FBI?
It is the end of the FBI, as Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich would leave the company at this point. Basically, they kind of just stopped getting booked.
Yeah, it kind of ran its course. And
so they just quit answering the calls, basically. We won't see Smothers again until 2010. And unless we decide to do some GCW in about 20 years.
Goddamn.
I don't think we'll see Rich ever again.
Tommy Rich does GCW?
In, 2019.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think it's him and Joey Janela at one of Janela's, spring break things.
Does he bleed?
Probably. I don't know. I'm not a GCW guy either.
Yeah. If you listen to the show, you know we're probably not up on the current ongoings of GCW.
Joey then shills for ECWWrestling.com. Hey, check it out, guys. It's actually still an active site.
Wow.
With lots of fun stuff about ECW. Has a bunch of history, and there's a page where, has listings for, all the people who have podcasts. So you can go and find random episodes of ECW people.
I imagine it doesn't look like it did in 1999.
Oh, definitely not. It's a fan running the site at this point.
Yeah.
It's still an active site, so I thought
that's neat. Yeah.
It was fun. But that takes us to our fourth match. Jerry Lynn versus Rob Van Dam with Bill Alfonso for the ECW World Television Championship. And we get back and forth action to start, including headlocks, shoulder blocks, traded leapfrogs, kicks, kip-ups, and backflips, when Lynn springboards into a crossbody, only for RVD to leg sweep his opponent, missing a somersault leg drop, leading to both bouncing up to stare each other down.
This is how a great junior match starts. Even though these guys probably aren't juniors, but they're guys that wrestle like juniors.
More headlocks, leapfrogs. When Van Dam surprises Jerry with an inverted atomic drop, goes to run the ropes, but Lynn follows with a clothesline that sends RVD rolling outside to regroup. Back in, Jerry's sent to the ropes, where Van Dam does a split-legged drop down, only for Lynn to leg drop the back of his head before a drop kick and a clothesline.
That's a wonderful spot.
RVD back out, with Jerry somersaulting off the apron, causing them to barrel into the railing. And Van Dam looks woozy as he goes to re-enter the ring, so Lynn hits a baseball slide to knock RVD into the crowd, with Jerry springboarding off the ropes with a crossbody onto his opponent. And Lynn rolls Van Dam back in, who takes advantage with a basement dropkick as Jerry climbs into the ring, working him over with strikes, goes for a springboard, but Lynn dropkicks him off the ropes, sending RVD flying onto the guardrail. Jerry's whip is then reversed, causing Lynn to get draped across the steel, with Van Dam leaping off the railing with a guillotine leg drop.
Love to see it.
And a crossbody onto his opponent. And Jerry's knee starts causing him issues as he stumbles back to ringside, where RVD delivers forearms and sets Lynn up for another guillotine leg drop off the guardrail. We get exchange strikes when Van Dam scores a side backbreaker and Fonzie tosses a chair into the ring, before placing Jerry in a surfboard that gets a 2 count, followed by kicking him out of the move, with Lynn's head hitting the steel for a near fall. Jerry is then sent to a corner while RVD grabs the chair, placing it on the mat as he tumbles through into a monkey flip, only for Lynn to counter it into a sunset flip powerbomb, with Van Dam's head hitting the steel for a 2 count.
What a spot.
Jerry then goes for a pile driver, but RVD counters it into a back body drop onto the chair for a near fall, when Lynn bridges up and into a DDT, only for Van Dam to counter again with an inverted atomic drop and a Northern Light suplex, which Jerry floats over to deliver an inverted DDT onto the steel for a 2 count.
This is what I come to ECW for.
RVD struggling to make it to his feet, so Alfonso jumps on the apron to distract Lynn, leading to Van Dam tossing the chair to Bill, just as Jerry turns around to kick his opponent. Fonzie swings away, but Lynn catches the weapon, kicking Alfonso away and turning back to RVD, who misses the Van Daminator. And Jerry sets the chair down and leaps high enough to avoid a leg sweep, coming down with a leg drop of RVD's head into the steel for the pin, and no, Van Dam kicks out.
I know, I was like, that was so good, it should have been the finish.
Lynn takes the weapon with him to the top rope, but Fonzie grabs hold of his ankle, allowing RVD to recover, clocking Jerry several times, only for Lynn to answer back with a pair of chair shots, when Van Dam responds with a Van Daminator that causes Jerry to fall off through a ringside table.
It's got to happen. You got to go through the ringside tape.
Lynn's rolled back in for a 2 count before RVD plants his opponent with a body slam, placing the weapon on top of him and goes for a split-legged moonsault. But Jerry gets the chair and his knees up in time.
Take that.
And the two men fight over the weapon when Van Dam gets hit in the gut, followed by a sunset flip from Lynn for a near fall, only for RVD to kick out with a chair shot to the head. Now once back to their feet, the two begin going through a long sequence of roll-ups for 2 counts, until a ducked clothesline from Jerry leads to a bridging German for a near fall. And they trade strikes when Van Dam reverses a whip, charging in, but Lynn backdrops him to the apron, hitting a shoulder block and going up top to nail a tornado DDT onto a table that doesn't break.
It's a pretty nasty little spot.
And both men are slow to get up, where they make it back inside, where RVD reverses a suplex, only for Jerry to float over into a waistlock, which Van Dam escapes with a back elbow, So Lynn tries for a Northern Lights, but RVD gets out of that with a back heel kick and a clothesline for a 2 count. Van Dam continues with a body slam and rolling thunder for a near fall, followed by strikes and a whip to a corner, only to charge into a big boot, allowing Jerry to go for another tornado DDT, but it's countered into a Northern Lights by RVD, which is reversed into a DDT for the pin, and no, Van Dam kicks out as the bell rings and the time limit expires. And referee John Finnegan wants to award the match and title to Lynn, only for Jerry to want 5 more minutes.
Feels like a bit of overkill in that, where it's like, oh, he did better. It's like, well, it's not boxing. And then, but the crowd is already...
I mean, it's another riff on the Holyfield Linux thing.
Yeah. But it's like the crowd has already been won over by Jerry, which is obviously the point of this match. And he's done a wonderful job of it. But the crowd starts chanting for him when they were on pro Van Dam for the most part earlier in the match. It was organic.
And the ref accepts Lynn's decision and rings the bell. So Jerry nails a running dropkick and a cradle piledriver for the pin. And no, Van Dam kicks out again. Lynn then runs into a boot in a corner before Alfonso tosses a chair to Jerry, who swings away at his opponent. But RVD ducks and delivers the Van Daminator, followed by heading up top for the 5-star frog splash for the pin and the win. Post-match, the two men have a quick handshake as the crowd gives them a standing ovation, which is what I would have done as well, because this is definitely going on the short list.
Yeah, this is so great. We've already enjoyed Jerry Lynn for a short amount of time that he's been in ECW, but this feels like the moment where he's like anointed, and it almost felt like they were trying too hard to get a guy over that's like this good, but it worked, so whatever.
Yep. We then go to a video package. It starts with the opening date, location, title again, when Paul Heyman narration kicks in to talk about Sabu and Taz, calling them hardcore before hardcore was cool. We see scenes from November to Remember. We covered it on episode 226, where the two men meet as narration says the single most intense rivalry in ECW history is without question these two men. A feud so extreme they main evented the very first pay-per-view, Barely Legal, 1997, which we covered in episode 250. Paul continues that with both men being champions, they have been playing a game of one-upmanship with each other. Who is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? The suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu, or the human suplex machine Taz? We find out tonight.
Pretty good package.
Would have worked better on TV than in the middle of the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
like, we're already tuned in to watch this.
Yeah, that's the thing they're selling.
Yep.
That's why 80,000 people bought the pay-per-view.
Exactly. We then cut to Joey live from the arena talking about how Jasmine St. Clair wanted to make a huge impact. However, things didn't work out exactly as she planned, sending us to footage from before the show went on the air. And we see Jasmine and Lance Wright in the ring with the mic, talking about how she's the hottest adult film star out there, and the new queen of wrestling, which would bring Francine out.
Don't fuck with Fran.
St. Clair would shove her away, only for Francine to answer back with a stunner, followed by acting like she's gonna hit on Lance, getting on her knees, where she low blows him. And I mean with her forearm.
Yeah. She's not blowing Lance Storm in the middle of the ring. She has a little
Wright.
bit of class.
Lance Wright.
Oh, sorry, Lance Wright. What did I say?
Lance Storm.
Oops.
Completely different Lance. But that takes us to our fifth match. Mustafa Saed versus New Jack. An recycling bin of plunder is brought to the ring by Jack, dumping it inside and destroying Saed with a crutch, a computer keyboard, and a golf club into a street sign on top of Mustafa's Little Gangstas.
I'd like to say this now. This is great on paper. You know when people will say fantasy booking? This is the thing everybody thinks will be great. But no. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
It's exactly what you think it's going to be. They trade strikes when a headbutt to the groin by Mustafa allows him to use a toy lawnmower, a tiny trash can, the recycling bin, and a cooking pan, followed by a corner clothesline, which busts open his opponent. And New Jack recovers to crack the keyboard over Saeed's head and grabs the guitar to swing away, only for the body to fly off, leaving Jack to wield just the neck, until some help from the crowd tosses it back in to smash over the head of his opponent. And Saed hits a low blow to send Jack rolling outside, where the two men brawl out into the crowd, where Mustafa sends New Jack into a wall before a chair shot, elbow drop, and strikes. But Jack fires back with an uppercut and chair shots of his own, setting up a table and taping his opponent down to the apparatus. New Jack then climbs a staircase to a balcony above Saed.
Of course he does.
Leaping off with a splash that lays out both men, forcing security guards to drag them both to the ring, where Jack makes the cover for the pin and the win.
Really don't know why they needed to go to the ring. I guess so everybody could see it.
I mean, just make these falls count anywhere matches, please.
Because, yeah, New Jack was hurt.
Yeah, he
was more hurt than Ali.
The splash didn't hit. It was more like a headbutt to the table.
Yeah, and then knees like into the concrete.
Yeah.
Like, he was fucked up.
So we won't see Mustafa again until 2010. I know. I was getting to remember how much I missed him too. Post-match, the Dudleys make their way to the ring to beat down New Jack before throwing him out, which brings some boys from the back to check on him. And Joel Gertner takes the mic to let us know he's not a player. He just crushes a lot. And as the shorties can all tell you, I'm not just all right. I'm Dolomite. And as for all these Asbury Park bitches can attest to, all you need to do is sit down on my pelvis and you'll feel the shit that killed Elvis too.
Yeah, I don't know what that means exactly. It sounds...
Like, are you saying you fucked Elvis to death, bro?
Yeah, and they're also like Elvis died on the toilet, so it's like then there's the shit thing. It's a real mess, but it sounds so smooth that it feels like it makes sense for a split second.
Gertner continues to spiel towards New Jack, followed by Bubba Ray taking the mic to call Jack old news, taunting the crowd and putting out an open challenge. And some music hits, leading us to our sixth match. The Dudley Boys of Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, with Sign Guy Dudley and Joel Gertner, versus Spike Dudley and Nova. And everyone starts brawling when the Dudleys smack both of their opponents with street signs and Bubba press slams Spike into the crowd. And the Dudleys beat down Nova with a flying headbutt to the groin, a Bubba bomb from the top, and a Dudley death drop, leaving him knocked out.
Yeah, all the while Spike is being surfed around by the crowd.
And officials come out to get Nova out of the ring, but Devon continues to work him over, causing the ring announcer, Bob Ortiz, to jump in to protect the hurt competitor, only for him to get a Dudley death drop as well.
Ref bump. Not a ref.
Ring announcer
bump.
Bubba Ray takes the mic and asks for another challenger when Judge Jeff Jones emerges with a stretcher, followed by Sid. And the Psycho One stares down Bubba, who's talking trash, when Devon attempts to calm everything by shaking hands. But Sid just boots him and goes for a powerbomb, when Bubba Ray clubs him from behind. And the Dudleys take turns with strikes, only for the Psycho One to fire back with a double chokeslam, delivering a powerbomb to Devon and knocking Bubba down with a right hand. Sid then takes Devon to the ramp to choke him on the stretcher, while Spike has returned to the ring to nail forearms to Bubba Ray, draping him across the second rope for a top rope leg drop, while also knocking Devon off onto the ramp. The Psycho One press slams the stretcher onto Devon, while in the ring Bubba reverses a whip, but Spike ducks a clothesline and goes for his finisher, only for Bubba Ray to flip him over. So the littlest Dudley tries again to deliver the acid drop for the pin and the win. Post-match, Sid climbs into the ring to nail a powerbomb to Spike, at first in the ring, and then another from the rampway through a table.
Yeah, Spike thinks that him and Sid are going to be pals, but Sid has no friends.
He's there to destroy.
Yeah. I always forget how big Sid is until Sid is in the ring. He's fucking huge.
Bubba Ray is not a small
guy.
person.
And he looks
Sid,
he looks like a gas station worker next to Sid's tall ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I do love that while they did face-to-face, Bubba talking shit, and Sid just is blowing bubble gum in his face.
Joey sends us to a video package about our next match. And we see Shane Douglas giving a retirement speech, talking about who should take his place as the franchise, as the crowd chants, "Please don't go. Please don't go."
I'm with him.
And Francine is even getting emotional. And we cut to both Justin Credible and Lance Storm claiming that they are the next franchise. Only for Shane to yell back, "You ain't a franchise. You ain't a franchise. The guy I'm talking about that's going to carry on this revolution is Tommy Dreamer."
You know what's funny about that? Tommy Dreamer believed that and believes it to this day.
Yeah. Tommy Dreamer kind of is the franchise of ECW.
He is, but I've just never been very compelled by him, so I find it funny. At least in ring. Yeah.
A brawl breaks out with Francine getting whacked by a Singapore cane from Credible when it switches to slow motion to see more beatdowns from the Impact players to Douglas, Dreamer, and the Queen of Extreme. Takes us to our 7th match. The Impact players of Justin Credible and Lance Storm with Jason, Jazz, and Beulah McGillicutty versus the franchise Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer with Francine. And Storm starts us off with strikes, a corner clothesline, and a Credible aided whip for a corner splash, which Dreamer avoids. So Lance goes for a back heel kick, with Tommy ducking it as well, causing Justin to take the blow and allowing Dreamer to deliver a clothesline to Storm. Tommy sent to the ropes again, countering a hip toss into a neck breaker before planting his opponent with a drop toe hold, while the franchise is tagged in for an inverted rolling neck snap. Credible's brought in to exchange strikes with Shane, with Douglas getting the better of the slugfest to nail 3 suplexes in a row.
Damn.
We get a chop fest before Justin flare flips out to the apron on a whip to a corner, ducking a clothesline to hit one of his own, followed by heading up top, only for franchise to catch him for a flapjack. And Dreamer returns for a sidewalk slam elbow drop combo with his partner that gets a 2 count, but then telegraphs his move for Credible to score an uppercut, only to charge in to a spinebuster. Justin then reverses a whip, with Tommy blocks another hip toss to counter into an ab stretch, which brings Lance in, but Shane meets him to press slam Storm onto his partner, still in the hold. Douglas then hits running forearms to Credible, only for Lance to kick him from the apron, leading to a super kick from Justin before double team stomps from the Impact players, which Tommy tries to break up, but the ref stops him, allowing Storm to nail a basement dropkick to the face of the franchise. Another dropkick by Lance, chops and strikes by Credible, rake of the eyes by Storm when Shane reverses a whip, only for Lance to slide through his legs to attempt a clothesline. But Douglas ducks and delivers a back suplex and begins to make the crawl when Storm keeps him in the ring with a leg lock. Justin hits a forearm drop, a jawbreaker, and double back elbows with his partner, working over the franchise in a corner when Credible goes for a baseball slide. But Shane moves in time, sending Justin to crotch himself on the ring post, allowing Douglas to make the hot tag. Dreamer with a Russian leg sweep and a clothesline to send Credible to the outside, with Tommy following and gloating to the crowd, leading to Storm flying over the ropes with a Biscotto onto him. And the franchise brawls with Lance, whipping him into a railing, crotcheting him on the ring post, while Dreamer's back up sending Justin into a guardrail. And Tommy drags Storm back in to nail a power slam for a near fall, while their partners brawl on the outside. A Dreamer driver gets a 2 count, as Credible makes it back to the apron. Tommy tosses Lance right into his partner, slingshotting Justin into a sunset flip of Storm, who gets up and charges at Dreamer with a clothesline, which he ducks, so Lance turns it into a dropkick of Shane onto the outside. Tommy then picks up Justin into a fireman's carry, only for Storm to break it up with a crescent kick, chokes, and a knee lift as we return to some normalcy in the match. The Impact players work over Dreamer with double teams, a chin lock, which is escaped with a jawbreaker, and Tommy makes the crawl, only for Lance to jump in to apply a front face lock to stop him. And after a reversed whip, Storm hits a back heel kick and a stalling suplex for a 2 count, followed by a body slam and a second rope elbow drop from Justin, causing Tommy to roll out to the ramp to prevent from being pinned. But the Impact players nail a double team suplex on the entranceway. Now back in the ring, Lance keeps at the attack with turnbuckle smashes when his rip is reversed. So Storm leaps up to the top rope, only for Dreamer to knock him down, causing Lance to crotch himself before Hangman's neckbreaker out of the corner. And Justin jumps in with a dropkick to Tommy, whipping him to a corner and charging into a boot, followed by a springboard diamond cutter by Dreamer. And the franchise is tagged in, who gives the triple threat sign to the Impact players, shoving Tommy down, causing them to fall for it.
A little bit of a tease.
Which allows Shane to hit a sneaky double clothesline, right hands, body slams, drop kicks, and a double noggin knocker. Douglas goes to celebrate on the ropes, which leads to Beulah running in to give a low blow, which then brings Francine in for a cat fight. Storm breaks it up by placing Francine on the ramp, hitting her with the forearm before returning to working over the franchise, while Credible does the same to Dreamer. And Francine heads to the back, only to return with a ladder, setting it on the turnbuckles as Tommy picks up Justin into an electric chair, dropping him right onto the apparatus, while Shane avoids a superplex to nail a flying crossbody onto Lance for a near fall. And Douglas continues with an inverted atomic drop, while Dreamer sets up the ladder for a teeter-totter to both of their opponents, leading to the franchise covering Credible for a 2 count. But Storm breaks it up to make a cover for a near fall of his own. Shane then drops Lance with a front suplex, followed by Tommy delivering a DDT of Justin's head right into Storm's crotch.
Eesh.
A belly-to-belly from Douglas to Credible for a 2 count. But Justin escapes his clutches with a mule kick low blow, knocking Dreamer away with a right hand and dropping him onto Lance's balls as well.
Comedy of errors.
Justin then grabs the Singapore cane and winds up, only for Francine to catch it from the apron, hitting a roundhouse kick, causing Credible to fall into the clutches of the franchise to deliver the Pittsburgh plunge for the pin and the win. Post-match, Cyrus the Virus comes out as the winners leave to the back, allowing Storm to fly off the top with a double clothesline to his opponents. Lance tosses them back inside, where Credible nails cane shots to both, which brings Francine in to jump on the back of Justin, only to be knocked down. Credible looks to hit her, but Cyrus jumps in to stop the rampage, only to low blow her with a headbutt, followed by the Impact players posing for the crowd with their crew and leaving to the back.
I don't know if I've ever seen a woman get headbutted in the vagina and then hold it and roll around in a wrestling mat.
Oh, my hole!
I know. It was way too funny and just the right kind of trashy for ECW.
I wish there hadn't been such a long heat segment.
Yeah, this match was good, but it was a little too long in the tooth.
Yeah. Because, like, once they got to the comedy stuff, I was fine with it. Because I know that's what to expect a little bit from Dreamer matches. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I really like this match.
What's with the fake Beulah? It looks like Beulah.
It's Tammy Lynn, bitch.
Oh.
Because she was Tammy Lynn again when they were facing Candido and Tammy Lynn.
But I was like, I mean,
but now they're facing now they're facing Tommy Dreamer, so
she's fake Beulah.
Fake Beulah.
She looked like Beulah for. I bet the video quality isn't always the best for ECW shows. So I was like, I don't know, that looks like Beulah to me.
I mean, it's Dawn Marie.
Yeah.
Style then sends it to replays from the RVD Lynn match earlier. And he tries to explain the reasoning behind the ref trying to give the title to Jerry, before cutting to an interview with John Finnegan, who gives his side of the story, saying he wanted a clear-cut winner. And Van Dam interrupts to say Lynn was at his finest tonight, that he was one of the two greatest athletes in the ring, but obviously not the greatest, as he holds up the title.
Good stuff.
RVD wonders if Jerry thought the outcome was unjust, followed by saying he told Heyman a long time ago he didn't need the bullshit storylines, and challenges Lynn to a rematch at Hardcore Heaven.
It's a match that's deserving of a rematch.
Absolutely. That takes us to our 8th match. Sabu with Bel Alfonso versus Taz for the unification of the FTW and ECW World Heavyweight Championships. And we get to see footage of the Homicidal One's jaw being broken by the human suplex machine during a house show, which also caused some torn muscles in Taz's bicep.
Damn.
And before the match begins, the human suplex machine takes the mic to explain how these fans were waiting out in the rain for hours to see this match. So let's give them something to see. Wanting to make it an extreme death match. Falls count anywhere. And, Sabu doesn't have any issue with that at all.
No.
Since he's the homicidal. Genocidal.
Suicidal?
Suicide.
Who knows?
It's more sidal.
Yeah. Sabuicidal?
Yeah. And the two break out into a mat wrestling clinic to start, when Exchange Right Hand sends the Homicidal One down in a heap because of the jaw. And Taz goes for crossface blows, only for Sabu to block and lock in an armbar, which the human suplex machine wiggles free from. A waistlock takedown, crossface blows, and a Brooklyn boot from Taz, when the Homicidal One reverses a whip to send the human suplex machine chest first into a corner, followed by a springboard leg lariat and a slingshot somersault leg drop for 2 counts. And Fonzie tosses a chair in, which Sabu hurls at Taz before setting it up for Air Sabu, causing the human suplex machine to roll outside. But the Homicidal One keeps up the attack with a baseball slide that sends Taz into the railing and dumping him into the crowd.
Crowd brawl.
Sabu then goes for a triple jump plancha, only for the human suplex machine to hold up a chair, causing the Homicidal One to crash into it. And they brawl through the crowd up into the bleachers, making their way towards the entranceway, where Sabu leaps off a chair on the ramp onto his opponent, still in the crowd, for a 2 count. And they both climb atop the rampway when Taz tosses the Homicidal One back into the crowd, before they return to the ring, where they continue to brawl away. When Sabu dropkicks the knee, bridges a table from the apron to the guardrail, only for the human suplex machine to fight back to deliver an overhead belly-to-belly Tazplex through that table, causing a camera to cut out from a cable being disconnected. And the human suplex machine slams Sabu into the railing, dropping him with snake eyes onto it as well, before taunting Hogan and Flair while cross-facing the Homicidal One. But a rake of the eyes and a chair shot allow him to escape back into the ring, where we see Sabu's mouth is bleeding. And Fonzie wants to throw in the towel, but the Homicidal One stops him.
No.
Leading to Taz attacking on the ramp again, tossing him between it and the guardrail. And Alfonso hits a chair shot to the human suplex machine, which has no effect, sending Taz to chase down Bill momentarily. But both men then return to the ring, where Sabu scores a low blow and a leg drop facebuster for a near fall. And the homicidal one locks in a camel clutch to wear down his opponent before setting up a table, giving the human suplex machine time to recover and attack from behind, placing Sabu on the apparatus and climbing to the second rope. But the homicidal one meets him there, shoving the table away so he can deliver a springboard hurricanrana, followed by a standing rana. But Taz reverses it into a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. And they roll outside where Sabu reverses a whip to send his opponent into the railing before setting up a table bridging 2 guardrails diagonally, only for the human suplex machine to hit him from behind and toss him into the ring. And as Taz is re-entering, the homicidal one shoulder blocks him and hits a sunset flip powerbomb to the concrete.
Pretty nasty. They call it the Arabian powerbomb. And I was like, well, what about the Arabian sunglasses?
But it doesn't land quite right, as Sabu's leg got caught up in the railing. So the human suplex machine actually lands more on top of the homicidal one than the floor.
Yeah. A little Sabu slop, if you will.
And Sabu places his opponent on the diagonal table, climbing to the ring post for a splash that sends them both through it, getting a 2 count. Back inside, the homicidal one continues with an Arabian facebuster for a near fall, but Taz fights back with a low blow and a pump handle Tazplex for a 2 count. But Sabu takes over with a chair shot and a triple jump moonsault for a near fall, only for the human suplex machine to answer back side head and arm Tazplex, smashing the homicidal one's face into a chair for a 2 count. More brawling and a triple jump leg drop for a near fall from Sabu, but the human suplex machine responds with an overhead Tazplex before another suplex from the second rope for a 2 count. The homicidal one then sets up a table at an angle in a corner, followed by the 2 exchanging blows again when the human suplex machine delivers a dragon Tazplex through the table.
Oof.
For the pin, and no, Sabu kicks out.
Looks like he broke his damn neck.
The Tazmissions then locked on when Fozzie throws in the towel, but the homicidal one grabs it and tosses it away, only to then pass out for the ref stoppage and the win. Post-match, Alfonso's checking on his man, while the human suplex machine grabs the mic because he has something to say. As usual, Sabu, you gave me the fight of my life. Look at me, Sabu. Every time we wrestle, I get more respect for you, and right here in Jersey, I want to shake your hand. And the homicidal one's reluctant at first, but eventually, the 2 competitors share a handshake. We then go to a highlight package from the evening before Joey says his goodbyes, and we fade to black. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of Living Dangerously 1999?
It was a little better than I expected, mostly because there's 4 really good to great matches on this show, and they're paced out pretty well. I guess it's kind of a couple in the front, couple at the end, but there's the kind of played out ECW stuff that one would expect, filling out the middle of it. But 4 matches of that quality on any show probably get a thumbs up for me for the most part.
Yeah, there are definitely parts of the show that go off the rails, but for the most part, I agree. I enjoyed this, as there's plenty of stuff that I do like.
Yeah, sometimes you only get like one really great match on an ECW show, and there's like I said, there's like 4 really good, and a couple of those really good matches are truly great. So I cannot complain.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right. Fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show? The opening sequence from Crazy and Tajiri.
Yeah.
The opening sequence from Lynn and RVD. And then Lynn and RVD kept going.
Yeah. Like those... Yeah, both those matches. I mean, those are the 2 best matches.
Those are the 2 best matches, definitely.
And that's no slight to Sabu and Taz, because theirs was very good. But
it's not even in my top 5 matches.
Oh, wow.
And there's only 8 matches on the show, so...
I mean, I assume you like the tag more.
I do like the Impact players tag more.
But what else is there?
I like the Corino Balls match more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You like?
I mean, I like Steve Corino. Like,
I mean, I immediately took to him, but I'm not as familiar with him as you are. So I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm excited to see more of him. That was my takeaway.
And then I thought Antifaz and Little Guido was a fun match as well.
That was fun, yeah.
We'll talk more about it when we get to disappointing. But yeah, especially when Corino does the sit down chin lock on the chair.
I love that.
Like, I was just like, chef's kiss.
Absolutely. That was exciting. Yeah, I was like showing shades of when Jay White was good. That kind of attitude, which is something I truly enjoy out of a heel.
And watching that Antifaz Little Guido match, I was kind of like, how have I never heard of this Antifaz Del Norte guy before? Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if I honestly didn't look to see if we ever see him again. I assume that he probably shows up a few more times as a good opponent for someone, that kind of thing. But like, I thought his, moveset was great.
Yeah.
It's like, if they had put this match as the opener, I would have been fine with that as well.
Yeah, this totally could have been the opener. It had a little bit of, it wasn't as clean of a angle or whatever, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Obviously, the match is there so to set up the breaking up the full-blooded Italians. And I looked for something to tell me, like, what exactly happened to cause a breakup. And I couldn't find, like, an exact moment.
Yeah.
So...
it may have just been, like, teased out, and they're like, all right, let's just pull the trigger on this.
Basically. Like we said when we were talking Mustafa New Jack, it's exactly what we expect from those two guys.
Yep.
So I can't be disappointed.
No, I just don't like it.
I cannot like it, but I can't be disappointed by it.
No.
Because it's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, Sid coming out is always fun, and this time, instead of him destroying no-name guys, he's getting over by taking out the Dudley boys.
Also, Sid looked better and was treated better here than he has been in years. He felt like a star, which is a thing that has kind of been an issue, is that nobody wanted to... they start that and then always they don't ever follow through. So I was happy to see Mr. Udi. Rest in peace.
Rob Van Dam's promo with Sabu at the beginning.
Loved it.
I was cracking up laughing while watching it.
Yeah, I had a big dumb smile on my face.
Anything else?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a good show. It's the ECW show, so there's some stuff in there that might not be to your taste. And those are kind of our complaints. It's like, oh, this is a thing that wasn't really to my taste, but we wouldn't be able to call any of it like bad or disappointing for the most part. Solid. At least there wasn't too much in the way of trash matches.
No.
So, yeah. Or like a 4-man walk and brawl. The tag match, one of the reasons I like it so much is because it mostly stayed as a tag match. Like, pretty traditional tag match.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to most disappointing.
All right.
So we can, because that's probably like we said when we were talking the Impact Players match, a little bit too long of a heat segment because we have the hot tag and they start brawling but then it gets back in the ring and it returns to normalcy and it's like, and then we have another heat segment.
Yeah, and then the hot tag is Shane Douglas the next one is Shane Douglas comes in, but he teases the triple threat thing and then attacks.
So it's not, so you don't really get that second hot tag.
Yeah, but it is a hot tag.
Yeah,
it's like set up that way, but it's got a little bit of a joke or a swerve in it.
I got what they were going for with the referee trying to give the belt to Lynn, like knowing the Holyfield Linux thing, because they literally said it. Joey said it at the beginning of the show, so they set it up, and so it didn't take away. Like the match was so good that one little bit doesn't take away from it.
Yeah.
Because we still got the 5 more minutes, which is what we needed.
Yeah, it just felt weird for a ECW wrestling match.
I mean,
but I get it. They're just trying to. ECW loves to be, and wrestling in general loves to remark on things that are
Culture
going on in the
that are
world.
happening,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just it's kind of baked into American wrestling.
And then the reason Sabu and Taz are probably a little bit lower on my, like, I think it was fine. It is a Sabu kind of match. But the last, like, 3 or 4 minutes of this match, they just quit selling for each other. Like, they're just hitting like big move after big move, and then the other person's getting up and hitting a big move.
Yeah, I just got it.
And then
turned to
like,
got a little spot fest.
So it was just like, give me a little bit here, guys. Like,
yeah.
I know you have it in you.
Maybe they were a little short on time. I mean, I don't know, but yeah.
But yeah, that's my biggest complaint about that match. Like, I was fine with it for 90% of it, and then just like the last couple minutes,
it's like, yeah, act like you were beating the hell out of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I have no issues with that take.
Anything else disappointing for you?
No, I mean, ECW sometimes can really get long in the tooth for me, and this show went down smooth. That's the most I can ask for.
Kind of like this Jack Rose cocktail.
Yeah, perfect pairing.
How about best performer of the night? I got to give it to RVD just because he also has the 2 promos.
Yeah, I mean, it's RVD, Lynn, and then, like, Super Crazy and Tajiri. Like,
yeah.
I mean, but yeah, give it to Mr. Monday Night.
Mr.
RVD,
PPV.
RVD.
That's the first time they'd ever called him Mr. PPV.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just kind of like, is it like, just the way I think they both, like, I think it was Steven Prazak said it, like, after RVD said it kind of made me, like, cringe, because it was just like, he was like, Mr. PPV. It was just like, PPV.
Yeah.
Mr. Pay-Per-View. Like,
Yeah.
it was just weird the way he said it, so I was just like,
Yeah, they obviously were, like, trying to get it over.
cringy.
They're just adding another name, and they kind of sold it a little too hard.
And most surprising? Anything surprising on this show?
I guess the surprise would be that this probably originally meant to have Bam Bam on it, but we all know where he is, so it's not a surprise. I didn't think it would have been a huge surprise if he showed up, considering where he's been working.
I mean, I don't know if, I mean, they probably did book Ashbury Park
quite a
while ago, thinking he would be there, but I don't know.
He's been out.
I don't really know where he would be on this show, technically. I mean, maybe the Balls Mahoney spot, but
yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is that we literally, that there was so much good wrestling on this show.
Absolutely. That's the thing that I like the most. And like I said earlier, a lot of the times you get 1 or 1.5 of these on an ECW show, and our batting average is like 50-50 here.
Yeah.
That's pretty great for a company that kind of deals in every style.
There's only one match on the show that I would tell people to skip, and that's Mustafa and New Jack.
Yeah.
I would tell them to also skip the whole Dudley Boyz intro, like, get to the match.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because the intro was not good.
Wasn't their best work, and I could never see one again, and I'd be okay.
Yeah.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down. Turn the projector on. We're ready to rumble. This week we're covering Shadow of the Thin Man. It was released November 21st, 1941 by MGM. Directed by W.S. Van Dyke, a 2-time Oscar nominee, and written by Harry Kurnitz, 1-time Oscar nominee, and Irving Brecker, also a 1-time Oscar nominee. It stars William Powell, a 3-time Oscar nominee, Myrna Loy, and Donna Reed, who has 1 win on her only nomination. The plot of this film is high society sleuths Nick and Nora Charles run into a variety of shady characters while investigating a racetrack murder. Some trivia from this: it was shot in just 2 weeks, as the director had a nickname of One Take Woody.
Oh, he's got a bit of a Clint Eastwood thing going.
He's just like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Barry Nelson and Ava Gardner have their feature debuts in this film. And this is actually the 4th of a 6-movie series. This is the last film Lloyd would actually film for 3 years, as she left Hollywood for New York, where she volunteered as an assistant to the Director of Military and Naval Welfare during World War II.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of this lady listening to...
You must remember this.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the name of that show.
Some reviews and ratings. IMDb has it at a 7.2, Letterboxd at a 3.4. And I found a review from Matt Brunson on the Film Frenzy website. This is from 2021. The comedy quotient and mystery angle are as strong as ever. The actors' chemistry is intoxicating. Their flirtatious banter never fails to delight. And my review is William Powell and Myrna Loy have become my favorite couple in filmdom while watching this series of films. So I didn't just watch this one. I have actually watched all 6. And literally after I watched the first one, and the next day I was like, wife, watch this with me, because I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it. I remember when you were going through is it just called the Thin Man series?
Yeah. The first one's Thin Man. This is like I said, this is the 4th one. The chemistry between these two characters is infectious, and then you add Lieutenant Abrams' reactions to the mix, and this is a delight. He's one of the side characters. Shadow does lean into the mystery more than the comedy at times, but I found the story easy to follow and was right with Nick as he figured out the killer. Because basically everyone kind of ends with that, like, dining room, bringing all the characters together.
Okay.
Agatha Christie type
I gotcha.
Ending. The wrestler in this movie is Tor Johnson, playing Jack the Ripper, our curly-headed wrestler. He has no lines, but he depicts a wrestler of the 30s to a T. That's like the 5th time we've seen Tor Johnson in our walk through these movies.
I mean, I feel like he's kind of like probably one of the guys that worked the most as far as a wrestler goes back then.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know him from playing 9.
Yeah.
And that's one of the names I've recognized in this Wrestlers in Film series.
I gave the movie a 4.0 and the wrestler a 3.5. This series is probably one of my favorite series of films that I've ever watched. Like,
yeah, I need to give it a shot.
Every single one of them is at least a 3.5 to a 4. So
the racetrack murder was a genre for a long time. I know that there's one of the early, I can't remember what it's called. One of the early black and white Kubrick movies is also a racetrack murder movie. But yeah, it was definitely. You could probably make a whole series over just racetrack murder movies. Yeah.
Next week, we're headed to WWF Monday Night Raw from March 22nd, 1999.
I mean,
it's the Raw before WrestleMania.
Yep. So hopefully they're gearing it up and getting all the ducks in a row to
absolutely
hopefully put on a solid WrestleMania.
Music for this week's show is This Is Extreme by Harry Slash and the Slashtones. And Taz won our main event, so we play Survive If I Let You by Harry Slash and the Slashtones. And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there and rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcasts at. Do as Michael says.
5 stars or no stars. Do it for Jerry Lynn. Do it for Tajiri. Super Crazy and RBD.
That's right. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, recipes, Shay may be back next week. Going to Albany, New York. So if you know any upstate New York recipes, be helpful. But you can email those to us at WrestlingHistoryX@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. And actually, I do see those comments on YouTube just not usually in a timely manner, guys. So keep them coming, especially you, Sam. We see you.
Shout out, Saed.
But we'll talk to you next week.
Laters.